Hey, Brian, good to see you, man. Thanks for hosting this with me tonight, man. How was the
Anytime.
weather in Pittsburgh, man?
It's been crappy Ola. Anytime.
Crapiola as usual. Yeah, it's been windy as hell here today. I mean, big time winds.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
That was that today too. Here. Same thing.
same
Same
thing.
thing. We had 40 mile an hour winds today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so getting back to the drone topics, I know you and I have been kind of messaging with Instant Messenger, not Instant Messenger, but Facebook Messenger about your experiences with the Xeno Mini Pro. And I know you had a bit of a challenge. You want to share that with the folks online?
Well, it bricked on me when I did an update. It took me a long time to even get it going. And then once I did get it flying, and then I put the update on, then it bricked it. It bricked
The
the
update.
control. It bricked the controller, is what it did. It wiped out the. There's a number that comes with the controller. If you look at the back of your controller, you'll see
Yeah.
a little QR code there. Okay,
Okay.
well that's synced into your controller, the number itself. Well,
Okay.
what happened when I did the update? That number that's actually in the firmware of the controller got erased.
So the signature, your profile was gone. So it was
Right
like, I
from
don't
the
know who you are. So forget it. You're out of
right, it
town.
was gone from the controller. Okay,
Oh,
and
crap.
then for that, actually to fix it is really not that big of a deal, but it's kind of a hassle. Like
Yeah.
anything with Hubson, it's kind of a hassle. So Hubson will send you this email with a barcode on it, and you scan the email with your phone, and you go and download this app. Then what you have to do is you have to plug in the controller cord into your phone when the app's running and scan that number on the controller with your phone camera. It'll read it and shoot that number back onto the controller.
Oh, my goodness.
It's yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's kinda like the firmware update itself,
Right.
remember?
Yeah,
Because
right. It's similar to that.
because you gotta pull the
Right.
phone out
Right.
and plug it right directly into the craft, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly?
you do. Right into the aircraft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just
And
nuts.
this kind
It's
of works just like the other way, where you plug the your phone
Oh,
into the controller
and then take the pic
and then
take
turn your phone around and take a picture of that barcode while you have that app running. You have to have this app running, okay?
right.
And then that app will automatically take the picture as soon as you line up that.
Th
So it'll automatically take the picture, it'll read whatever that code is and shoot it into the controller. It shoots the number back on there. So it,
Wow.
it does work. I mean, I can attest to the fact that it does work.
Well, what was your experience once you got the update and everything worked and you got it obviously successful? Did you get
Yeah,
a chance to fly
I
it?
flew it. I flew it yesterday, and it flew great.
Oh my gosh. So
Yesterday was the
you're
first. Well, yesterday was actually the first day I actually got it out to the park and fly it around. I was like 1,200 feet out, and so it actually flew really good and real stable. So
good, good.
that was the first time since I've had it over a month that I've actually got a decent flight out of it.
Dang, that's just nuts.
Yeah, right.
That's just nuts. Well, we have our guest here, Ken Hofbauer, and his channels. Place it here. So, guys, go visit his channels. I'm going to put up his banner, and then what we're going to do is bring him in and meet Ken Hofbauer. So let's not wait any longer. Bring him in. Hey, Ken, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate it, man.
How are you? Thanks for having me tonight.
Yeah,
Glad
yeah. So are you in Florida today?
I am. I'm in St. Augustine, Florida.
Good, good. I
Yeah,
know you're a traveling man, so
Raggy.
yeah. He's in Florida while we freeze.
yeah, we suffer with the wind, man.
I have the air conditioner on. If I walk outside, I
Of
will
course
get
you
Oh,
do.
cold.
shut up. we just go over here. Where are you? Yeah, you're right down here. Watch this. Watch this, Brian. Let's beat him over the head.
Yeah,
I got him. Boom, boom. Right there, man. Oh,
Nice.
wait. I got to get him a little lower. Bam.
he's
So,
got the AC on. Yeah, my
yeah,
heart's
I got
beating.
the AC on. Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh. We're feeling really bad for you. Let me take this banner down then. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys, don't forget, hit the like button too, because that really helps the algorithm with the channel. And don't forget to visit Ken Hofbauer's channel, and it's called Place It Here. Okay? So it looks like we're getting some folks in here. We have Travel Tech 360. Hey, Robbie, thank you for stopping by. And you can see he's saying hello to everybody here. Hey, the grumpy vlogger, thank you, sir. Drone Reviews Media, it's
Maddie,
here too. Yeah, and Matt is also here. What's going on, guys? Thanks for dropping by. So, what was your real first drone, Matt? I mean, Matt. I'm reading Matt's comments. Sorry. What
My
is
first drone was a Hubsan 501S. It was the first GPS drone that I bought. Actually,
Wow.
before I bought that was a Cheerson, one of those little mini micro drones that you try to fly around the house. And then I bought the Hubsan 501S and flew it around. And my people at work, at the time I was a mortgage broker, and I would take that downstairs in the parking lot because I didn't know any rules or anything back then. And I would fly that thing on my lunch break out in the parking lot all over the place. And people would look out their windows and laugh at me. But it was a ton of fun. I loved it.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy, man. I want to go to Hawaii. Take me. I'll go.
If I ever get to Hawaii, I'm never coming back. Just so you know. Once I get there, I'll go work in a restaurant or something and live on the corner.
Hey, Captain Ray, thanks for joining, man. Appreciate you dropping by. I probably won't be doing a whole lot of typing here as I'll be managing the chats. So, okay, let's get back to talking about the Hubsan S, right, and what it was like. But before we get to that discussion, Brian, what was your first real GPS drone? I know you've been at it.
Was the Bebop.
Oh man, that was a good choice.
I actually still have it.
Yeah, that was a great little sucker. It was kind of big though, right?
It still flies nice. The little Bebop, the original one, the Bebop 1, not the Bebop 2, the Bebop 1.
And it was all electronic image stabilization, correct?
Yeah, it had 2-axis electronic, and it was nice. It's still nice. I mean, the video's still nice on that. Yeah.
And, obviously the Spark kind of copied it in some ways because it only had 2-axis mechanical stabilization. And then the yaw was done with the electronic.
Right.
Right.
I went from, so I had the Parrot Bebop. And then after I flew that for a while, I went and got a Phantom 3.
Hey, yeah, the Phantom 3 no longer required you to put that GoPro on. You remember the first Phantom?
I have the Phantom 1.
Oh, my gosh. Well, it was such a joke. Remember that?
But I bought the Phantom 3 first. I bought the Phantom 1.
Never flew a Phantom.
I'll let you fly mine when we get together in Florida. I'll bring it. All right. Awesome. And you had a really good experience with the Bebop because that was a freaking good drone. You know?
It still flies good.
Yeah.
It still flies good. Actually, it flies better now because you can use the Bebop 2 controller with it, and it has way better range.
Who makes that?
Parrot. Yeah.
Yeah. And Parrot, it's a French-made company, and they won a huge contract with the U.S. government.
Right.
And DJI obviously gets locked out because of its bad practices of sending all his data to the servers in China. But I guess they trust
their bad practices of spying.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay. So, Ken, tell us about your experience with that Hubsan. I mean, we heard Brian talk about the Bebop. It was a really good experience.
It's a GPS drone, and I can remember when I flew it. Now that I fly DJI drones, the GPS did not work very well because it would sit there and hover and go back and forth and this and that. But as far as first experiences and getting into a drone, it was a ton of fun, and I loved it. I crashed it a couple of times. I was you know how you're not supposed to take your sticks and pull them in at the same time like this because that'll shut everything off and it falls out of the sky? Yeah, I did that by accident. Well, I didn't do it by accident, actually. I was testing it to see if it would work, and I was about 30 feet up in the air, and I just went boop, and sure enough, it powered down and completely fell out of the sky. I broke some props, had to bring it back to the guy and get it fixed. But I love that thing. I sold it to a buddy of mine, got a really good deal on it, and then I bought the Mavic Pro. And
Nice.
Brian, I saw that is your logo on yours, and I got the same logo on mine, except it's angled a little bit. But yeah, the Mavic is the one that I had the most fun with, and that's where I really, really started loving drones.
Yeah, I still have mine. Yeah.
I sold mine about a year ago, but I sold it to a friend of mine, so I can fly it anytime I want.
There you go.
Hey guys, on the comment, what was your first drone and why did you buy it? I'd love to hear that, Lone Star UAV. Howdy y'all. Sorry, what did you say, Ken?
I said hi, Kai.
Kai, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for stopping by, man. It was a pleasure hanging out and meeting you in Round Rock, man. It's really a lot of fun there. Kind of missed that place already, right? Had a good time. All right, so let's talk about. So you had a good experience with that. So what's going on with you? What are you into? What are your latest challenges in the drone world? Brian and Ken, what is happening with you guys? What are your challenges?
My latest challenge in the drone world is getting this Hubsan Zeno Mini Pro going good. Working all the bugs out of this damn thing.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about Hubsan. It does get into a little bit of hiccups here and there, and yeah, I know. It's
just the way they do some of this stuff. It's like when you're doing and of course everybody remembers the original Zeno when you had to do update on the controller where you had to put the foil on the jumpers. And I mean, who does this stuff? Who was the engineer when they were sitting there thinking this up? Who said, well, let's do this? Instead of doing it like everybody else does where it just goes over, wirelessly and, the data goes from your controller to the drone. Who was the one that they were sitting around in some engineering meeting going, hey, I got an idea. Let's get some aluminum foil and stick it on these two bits. Everything's set up.
I can't make it up. Well, how about the function that you got to take your phone cable that goes to your controller off and then plug it into the drone while you're doing the update, right? And that's the Zeno Mini Pro. That's how you update the Zeno Mini Pro. You start the update on the app and then it says, hook up the cable from your phone to the drone.
Right.
And you're like and then it's telling you to calibrate it, but you're going, wait a minute, I got a cable hooked up to this thing. How do you want me to calibrate this thing?
Yeah, it's really, I don't know, man. It just seems to me like some backwards engineering to me. But I mean, the Zeno 2, I have a Zeno 2. Now I can update that through the Wi-Fi and all that. Don't have to do all that crazy plugging in this and that and all that. So why didn't they just take what they learned with that and put it on there?
I don't know. I'm thinking it was probably a weight issue. Maybe it required more components, a different Wi-Fi interface or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I really don't know. You would thought it would have been.
And did you notice too, Al? I just actually noticed this yesterday when I was packing up. The props on that Zeno Mini Pro, they're awfully thin. Did you notice how thin those were?
Yeah, I actually had
blades. They're so thin.
I actually had the Zeno 2 crash on me because one of those props spun one of the blades off.
Yeah,
and only had one props. Overheated the EFC, and I was coming down, and I could hear it. And Robbie and I were actually flying that day together, and Robbie looks at me and he goes, "Something's wrong with your drone." I go, "You think?" And I'm bringing it in, and my problem is I was dropping altitude and moving forward as fast as I could, and then I decided to stop moving forward as I was dropping it, and then it just fell out of the sky.
Was
Because
that the Xeno 2?
yeah, the Zeno 2,
Yeah.
and
The
the
Xeno 2
whole
is a tank. It's a
holy
beast.
crap,
Yeah.
it is. It's heavy as heck.
Yeah. It reminds me of the Evo 2.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a beast.
Yeah, it's a beast. Because I actually mentioned that I shot a video with it a few weeks ago. I didn't post it yet. I shot the video, and I happened to mention that in the video that, hey, this thing is a monster. This isn't like some little lightweight here. This Xeno 2 is a heavy beast.
It's a heavy weight. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So let's get to the topic at hand. Ken, what is your favorite drone to travel with, and why?
It's kind of a loaded question.
It is. It is. We all know the product line that's so good.
For me, I travel 9 months out of the year straight and live in hotel rooms. So I have to pack accordingly and figure out what I want to bring when I'm traveling. Last year, I did not bring any FPV equipment because I kind of started it the year before and says, you know what? I don't understand this. I can't do it. So this year, I brought my Air 2 and Mini 2 and then sold my Air 2, bought the Air 2S. So I've been traveling with an Air 2S and a Mini 2 in one bag and all the batteries and all that good stuff, and absolutely love it. I'll be driving down the highway. I'll see some mountains. I'll just pull over on the rest area, throw it up in the air, and enjoy it. This year, though, this next year coming up, because I'm trying to get back into this again, it's going to be different. So now I'm going to have two bags. I have one for camera drones and then one for FPV. So I guess that's a long-winded answer, but a little bit longer. I have to figure out how to pack everything for FPV because if I'm traveling, if I'm trying to travel for 9 months, I have to have my soldering iron. I have to have extra wires, extra this, extra that. And I got to figure out how to have all of it with me so I can work on drones in a hotel room. So we'll see how this
You don't
goes.
need any of that crap if you don't crash.
Oh, you do. And so usually, if this thing wasn't all broken up like it is right now,
Yeah, that's a gem right there.
right now I got to put it back together. I strap it on the back of that,
Yeah.
and so I carry two bags. But you want to do a show and tell with your bag? I know Brian was admiring your bag earlier. Oh, my dog's going off. Sorry, guys.
That's a burglar.
Yeah, man. I have my first alert system right there, brother.
Here, that's the Air 2S. I just put
Oh, I
the
love that.
which I'm trying to learn how to do. But the way my bag is set up right now for camera drones is, let me put it in there.
I'm trying to get this.
Here. So I have this set up right here, and this is my Mini 2 right here, and then this is my Air 2S, and then I've got all the batteries for the Air 2S, and then I've got the two controllers here, and then my extra batteries for the Mini 2 as well. I have my Ulanzi lights right here is what I have there, and then I've got ND filters right here for my travel, and then I've got extra props and things like that as well.
Where's your charging hub or your chargers at?
Oh, it's in here. My charging hub is actually, believe it or not, it's going to take.
It's underneath there. Underneath
I pull
it.
this out right here. I've got my brick is right here,
I see that. Yeah.
and then let me put that there. And then my batteries. If I take the batteries out, that's down there at the bottom, flat.
Right.
Is the way I do that. So everything fits in here nice and neat.
It does. You're ready to rock.
But now I just bought a Race Day Quads FPV bag. So I'm trying to figure out how to fit all the FPV stuff in there so I can travel with two bags, one for cameras, one for FPV.
Yeah, that's definitely a challenge, but it is definitely doable. Like I said, I have to travel with two bags, and I have a very similar bag back there, but it's a bigger one than yours. Mine is a 3.5 liter low pro bag, and that's freaking huge, man. I can carry 4 of them in there. And Robbie can attest to this, man. When I go out, I go out with 4 drones and probably 20 batteries. And so usually it's like, I thought we were just going out for like 2 hours. It's like, that's 1 drone.
Yeah, right.
And talking about battery life, Brian, what did you think of that Xeno Mini Pro battery? Did you ignore it and just kept flying it and see if
No, I was just wanting actually just to get it up and fly it after the unbricking. I didn't test out I didn't stay and fly the whole battery down. I just actually wanted to see if I would have any trouble. I was actually looking for disconnect issues. That's what I'm still checking for, actually. But the battery life I know is good. Well, what I was testing that day was the FEMI Mini Pro. I bought one of the Pro batteries for the FEMI Mini. I was testing that, to see what kind of battery life that would be, because that's the one that puts it under the 250 grams. The Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you buy the FEMI Mini, you don't get the Pro battery, so you're over the 250 grams.
Right.
You have to go buy the Pro battery that puts you under. Yeah, I mean, it's not expensive. It's pretty cheap, actually, the battery. But
yeah,
you still have to buy it, and I don't understand why they don't give you the Pro when you buy it.
I know. Right?
I don't understand that. I don't get that.
I don't get it. I know. And you can see here, Mikey here is laughing out loud here. And I think I forgot what it was laughing about. So I'll take it down. Oh, geez.
No, I flew with Mikey and Sergio at an AMA field in Chicago this year. And there was a bunch of fixed wings guys down there flying as well. And they kept looking at us and eyeballing us, and we were being nice. When they took their lunch break is when we sent the camera drones up and the FPV drones and things like that. But there was a porta potty down kind of by where we were flying, so they had to keep going down to there to use the bathroom, and they would eyeball everything on the table. And one of them decided to stop and kind of talk to us, but he wasn't so nice. Let me just put it that way. He wanted to badmouth everything, and he was just looking for an argument, and we just kept killing him with kindness. So we're just looking forward to going back there again next year. That's all.
Yeah, that's a great takeaway, man. Just deflect it with kindness. That's good.
Yep, that's all. We weren't going to be mean back. We're like, hey, we see you guys are flying. When y'all are flying, we stay out of the air, and when y'all are down, we'll go up. But he didn't want nothing of it. He wanted to. He was one of those ones who just wanted to insult everything about the hobby. He didn't have anything nice to say.
Gotcha. And you can see Kai likes to take his Mini 2 overseas, but for domestic, he just takes whatever he wants, he says. I agree with that. Just as long as you carry your batteries with you in the cabin, we're good. Yeah, so I was going to ask Brian what's the worst drone to travel with? What is, probably the Evo 2.
Anything with a Hubson label on it.
Oh, man. Brian has had some tough luck with that. That Xeno.
Oh, that Hubson, Pro. The Xeno Pro,
yeah.
I got to fly it like 2 times. It's sitting in a box.
I know. But the black Xeno.
That was it, the black one, the Xeno Pro.
Yeah, the black one. Yeah. Yeah, the one. Yeah. And Ken, you were talking about how the Hubson 501S would sit there. It wouldn't lock on GPS. It would definitely dance a little bit.
Just kind of drift around.
Yeah. And so does the Xeno. Remember that, Brian? And the Xeno Pro. When you were trying to catch that thing, you had to kind of like time it.
You know what? And I've talked to Marcus about this too. The Xeno, it does that little crab walking, and it does that little wandering around. But once you get up and you're going, that really doesn't affect anything.
Yeah, because you're so high that you
Right,
can't
you're
see
so
it
high
drifting.
and you're out there. It really doesn't affect it. It's only really when you're in tight,
Tight quarters, yeah.
that wandering around you have to pay attention to that thing more. I mean, it doesn't have any optical flow sensors on it.
No,
No.
no.
It's all barometer. It's all electronic barometer.
Yeah.
Just like the Karma.
Yeah.
The Karma is the same way. It has the electronic barometer. It doesn't have any optical flow sensors on there. So if the electronic barometer is not working real good, then it's
you're going to get minus 20.
You're going to get drifting. That's all. I mean, that's just a fact of life.
It is. Yeah, and one of the scariest things to fly in is from a high area and then drop down because you're in minus territory as you're flying.
Right.
Right. And that makes it more of a challenge. So you're going, okay, how much lower am I? So it's all visual. You're hoping you're not going to get that much lag. And I experienced lag this weekend traveling through the mountains close to your neck of the woods over in Gettysburg area, Fairfield, Carroll Valley area, Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, not Virginia, around that area. I was following the GPS and it said, take a left in 200 feet. But guess what? That was 200 feet behind me.
Yeah. So you were having lag.
Yeah, I had that much lag. So I overshot my turn.
Right. Well, you just had some atmospheric conditions,
It was over there close to Camp David, so you never know.
Right.
That's why they like it out there. Can't get signals in and out of that place unless they want to, obviously. So what's been happening in your travels, Ken? I know you do a lot of traveling. You're independent. You're an independent contractor, insurance.
Yeah, I'm an independent contractor for adjusting. I was an adjuster for about 4 years, and then the last 2 years I've been managing adjusters.
Oh, wow, that's a big jump.
I ended up managing almost 200 adjusters this year. So it's definitely
that's a lot.
Yeah,
it's 200 people. That's a lot of work.
Not all at one time. The most I had at one time this year was 52, and that was at Hurricane Ida in Louisiana. But all my time this year was spent only in Chicago and in Baton Rouge, Denham Springs area in Louisiana. The year before, I traveled in 5 different states that I had to work. So it all depends on where the storms are. But I only get 2 to 3 months off. Like right now, I'm able to be on the streams, but I'm not working. I'm not getting paid. I'm on vacation basically for 2 or 3 months. And then when I go back to work, I work 7 days a week, 12 to 14 hours a day. So I don't get any time off when I'm actually working. Doesn't matter if it's my birthday or if it's a holiday. It doesn't matter. I work.
They don't care.
No.
Yeah.
You just got to get it
your
done.
business.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
I get you.
And so how is that possible with your family? How does that?
On a personal note, both my kids are older. They're 19 and 20. So,
yeah, but you only look 19 or 20.
I know, right?
How can you have 19 or 20-year-old kids?
Hey, I don't want to say that. I'm 50 years old.
Wow, you definitely age well, my friend.
Appreciate it. No, but my daughter, she's going to actually probably live in the house next year. And let her stay here by herself while I travel. My son, he goes to college down in Tampa. So, I mean, they're basically kind of all out of the house, and it's okay with what I do. There's no, I'm not married. I'm single, but the kids do live with me.
That's awesome. So you definitely have the freedom to, and obviously your wife anchors the home front, I suppose.
No, I'm not married.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I'm not married. It's just myself and the kids.
So, wow. Okay.
That's a different story another time, though.
Yeah, that's another conversation with a couple brews in us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my wife was fighting the Christmas tree over there, and I heard, the tree and her were fighting, man. they were going at it, and she finally said, "Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm out of here." And then I'm like, walk out of there, and I'm like, "Would you
So when
like
the
a
show's over,
cocktail?"
you can go. When the show's over, you can go pick it up and fix it.
Yeah, no, she wanted to throw it in the trash. No doubt
Yeah,
about
that's
it,
what I'm
right?
saying. It's
No
laying on the
doubt
ground
about it.
now. You could pick it up and put it back together when you get done.
She was all in for that, Brian.
Yeah, I bet.
And so,
Hey, Old Fart said that I was not an old fart, but I want him to know that I am an old fart.
Oh, I see. That.
very nice.
I gotta grab some Coke.
That's why Ken looks so young. He doesn't have to deal with women.
Exactly.
Hey, Mike, you hit it on the nose, man.
Funny, Mikey. Thanks, buddy.
Oh man, that's funny as heck. Yeah, yeah. So I'm just having a blast, just you know, flying lately. I've been building. What I've been doing is building. And see, this is the exact same thing. Let me see if I can do it. Do something. Can I do it like that? Yeah, I can do it like that. I'll get rid of Mikey. And, yeah. So I've been building the exact same thing as this here. Let me undo it. This thing's pretty beat up. The one that's on my backpack, I'm trying to take it off at the same time as we're talking. So I've been building 4 inches now. Once I'm done with this one, so these are exactly the same thing. Okay, I buy 2 frames, and then and I buy 10 motors because I know I'm going to burn out a motor. And there's always one freaking arm that I'm always crashing on. I always crash on this arm. See it? Everybody else has got TPU.
You on to the right or the left?
Yeah, that's the one I bank hard left and then crank. Ooh. And so that's what I normally do. And in every one of my drones, I definitely put a V-Fly beeper because I don't want to spend all my time looking for it.
Right.
I
That's
just
for
hit
when
that
it goes
button.
in the grass or it's up a
Yeah,
tree.
man. And they're so little. They're stuck up in a tree and you can't find it. And, I'm like, each one of these, and then it's hard to see, but it's actually, I place it, if it ever focuses, right there.
Yeah.
And it's hard to see. Come on, focus.
I
Never
see.
mind. It's so,
I see
so
now.
that's it. But the 4-inch builds is the way to go. So, okay. Brian, have you started the FPV journey yet?
No,
So
I can't.
Visual thing?
I get motion sickness too much.
Do you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even use my DJI goggles
And you got those for what aircraft?
for the Mavic Pro.
Mavic Pro. Okay.
I've never used them. I bought them and never used them.
That's right. You said that last time.
I use
It's
them
still
on
in the
my
box.
I use them on my PlayStation.
Hey, if you want to look really geeky, put those on, man.
Yeah.
All right, you're going to show
I've never
us something.
used them. I've never used them to fly the drone. I just use them on the PlayStation. That's all.
that's funny.
All right, you were going to show us your build. Let's see.
No, this is just one that I'm trying to build right now. It's just a Tyro 109.
Yes.
I bought it a long time ago and then decided that I wasn't going to do FPV. Now I've got the whole box up again with all the parts and everything that comes in it. So I'm going to try to build it and see what I can do with it.
Yeah, you're almost there, man. It just, it's not that much solder in it. I mean, you got 3 wires for your receiver. You have 12 for your motors.
I've soldered here. I've soldered, if I can see, 3 of the wires so far. I don't know if you can see. I think I did okay.
Yeah, and one of the things that I'll suggest you do in the future, it's hard to see here. Maybe I can take it off. Yeah, I can take it off. I'll go ahead and show you this. Not the screen I want. This one. Okay, I'll take the flight controller off and you'll see the ESC underneath it. And if you do your motors, the wires coming from the inside, so I wrap the wires around the post and then solder, and that doesn't expose them to any kind of hits. So when
I've seen that.
you
That
catch
looks
a branch,
really difficult.
it won't be that hard once you get
No.
used to it. Yeah, it'll be a challenge at first, but once you get used to it, because all you have to do is manage. So in your next build, if you do that, just think about that, because the way your wires expose are now, place yours back up there again. Let's take a
Yeah,
look.
I'll have to do zip ties to see, like right here. They're right here sticking up in the. Oh wait, hang on. There. Like
Yeah,
that.
because that'll catch anything that you get near, and it'll hang or rip right off. And by the way, if you rip a wire off, you know what the symptoms are?
What is that?
The motor will go. It'll be kind of weird. It'll Let me pull it up here. It'll the mo all every other blade, all the other blades will be spinning, but one will be going kick 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 when you womp on it.
Gotcha.
And that tells you got, and then it'll start and it'll be real twitchy. And then you just put it back down.
What's that symptom? That the wire's loose?
One of them got ripped off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't they make these FPV drones like that? Why don't they make them modular, where you can just unplug the arm and plug them in? You know, say the arm would have the ESC and the motor and all that, and say, okay, so you snap that arm, you just unplug that arm and plug a new arm on.
It's getting pretty close to that, Brian, because now the DJI Air unit.
Yeah.
This flight controller does not have the DJI plugs to it, but now the DJI Air unit here comes with a plug, so you don't even have to solder the wires to it. Because in this particular one, in this particular flight controller that I have, it doesn't have the DJI plug to it, but it comes with a plug, so all you do is plug it in. So the air unit or the Kinetic Vista will now plug in, no soldering. So you can literally take your Kinetic Vista, or now it's all Kinetic's product line. So either the Kinetic's Vista product line or the air unit out from one and move it around to the next drone. Yeah. And you can see it here. For this one's actually torn apart pretty bad. And you can see the solder points.
Yeah. That thing doesn't look fixable, Al.
Were you flying that one that spin up?
Yeah.
I thought so. I thought that looked familiar.
Yeah, this is the Baby Hawk. And to be honest with you, this is the drone to really start this size of a FPV to start flying on. I really, really think so. I mean, after my experience, that's what I would recommend, to start with a 4-inch. Is because you tried the 5-inch, and can you share your experience with the 5-inch, Ken?
Well, I went out with Jackrabbit Scott.
Hey, Scott!
I met him in Gainesville, Florida, and he got me on the goggles. It got me comfortable. I flew the Tiny Hawk. We were good. We went to another spot that had a lot more space. He's like, all right, so let's try your 5-inch, which is this one right here that I actually flew. But this motor here doesn't turn anymore. It's a lot different to fly a 5-inch. It was a lot harder. I had a whole bunch of open space, so I can't say that it was in a tight area. I just kept bouncing off the ground. I didn't have any throttle control at all. And I got nervous, and I ended up crashing into one of those green air conditioning metal boxes. It hit the side of it, and then ended up breaking the motor on it. So I ended up having to buy 4 new motors. And I listened to you earlier, so next time I need to buy 5, so when I do break a motor, I can replace it. So I bought 4 of these guys right here. Got to learn how to solder again and try to figure this out.
Yeah.
I'm going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, you definitely are. And just one thing that's so cool about this product, I don't know if you have this or not. Oh, gosh, if I were to show you, all right, I'll point my camera down. I'm going to reveal to you guys a little bit here what my bench looks like right now. Let me show you. This is my bench. And I'll go ahead and enlarge it. That's what's in my bench. This is a smoke preventer. So when you plug this in first, and it'll tell you that you got a short or not before you plug in. And then I'll have all my tools here. This is a very nice little thing that I use all the time. And, you can just like put stuff out of the way. You can see it's pretty easy. And but this is what I was going to show you. This is very useful.
100?
Yeah, no, this is a screwdriver.
Oh.
And it's got a light. And it comes with all this stuff. But it is a USB-C charger on the back. Okay, but yeah, you got the TS100. I mean, that thing is freaking awesome, isn't it? I just love that thing. If I could find it, I just had it. I just put it somewhere. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to the show. But yeah, the TS100 is definitely worth getting. And then I got this for Christmas, man. You ever seen one of these freaking things? It's like, and you can like move it around and change angles on it. It's pretty slick little sucker.
I can just imagine what your garage looks like, all those gadgets.
Yeah, you're right, Brian. But I do a lot of cement work on the side. I just love creating with cement too. And I make my own molds. You know how you make that silicone and make your own molds and stuff. Yeah, I really like it a lot. But yeah, the TS100 is what you're using to solder with, Ken?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That thing is amazing, isn't it?
It is. I haven't used it very often, but I've used it a few times. I like the convenience of it.
Yeah, because I just plugged it in. I hit the button here, and boom, and what? Oh, come on, camera. It takes no time to charge. Forget it. I'm just so frustrated with this camera sometimes. Because you press the button, and in 10 seconds, you're up to, soldering temperature. And you can run it off your XT30. XT60.
XT60, right. But do you need to buy a bigger battery so you can use that in the field?
At 1500, it'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah, 1500 will do it easily. I mean, you could go with 850. You could probably drain it faster. But yeah. So Brian, you get really motion sickness, so you're not a roller coaster guy, right?
Yeah, I don't like them either.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah.
I mean, I've been on all of them, but I don't like it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it only lasts a minute. I can do anything for a minute.
Hey, some batteries only last 2 or 3 minutes. So Ken, when you fly, do you fly standing up? Your FPV drones, do you fly them standing up or sitting down?
I don't have enough experience to tell you which way I prefer, but I've done it both ways. I guess lately I've been leaning up against the back of my tailgate on my truck, so probably sitting down, I guess.
Right. That's a good idea. I mean, I almost fell down the other day because I've been trying just to fly standing up. And it just, oh my gosh, sometimes you make maneuvers that, one of my favorite ones is like, you fly up, straight up over the object, and then you spin around and come diving straight down, and then you come around. And that one could get you a little wacky.
So I've got a shameless plug. So I've been editing video, which I'm lousy at, and I never put videos out. So I put one out yesterday. I put one out this morning.
Yay.
And I've got one coming out tomorrow morning and the next morning. The one that comes out the next morning in 2 days is FPV. And it was when I was with Scott Jackrabbit. There's one part in the video where I'll just tell y'all, for anybody who does watch it, it looks like I knew what I was doing. And I promise you, it was a complete accident. I was flying the Tiny Hawk back towards my truck, and my ladder rack was right here. I come right at the ladder rack. I go over the ladder rack, turn the drone. I come back this way and then disarm it, and it lands in my bag.
Oh my gosh!
So
And
it
you got
looked like I did it on purpose. I'm just going to own up right now. I did not do it on purpose. I lost control of the drone, and it accidentally did that.
Inverted yaw spins are awesome. Love those. Agreed. Let's see what is Mendez Drone Ops is saying. See what. Oh, that's a nice surprise to have, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The Mini 2 is my favorite. I love that thing.
That's your favorite travel drone, Brian?
That's my favorite drone, period.
Period.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Mini 2, man. Nothing beats that to me.
Yeah, I took it with me, and I was close to Camp David, and I wanted authorization codes, and I was like, I really don't want to do this right now. I just put it back in my bag and said I'm not flying. But I really did want to fly, but it just I didn't want to go there. So it looks like Marcus is in the house. Hey,
Yeah,
Marcus, how you doing? And then we have JSK Enterprises. He's in the house. We got a lot of folks joining. Thanks for joining, guys. Don't forget the usual stuff. Hit that thumbs up button, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channels here for Brian or Ken. I'll put the banners back up so you guys can see them, and don't forget to subscribe to them. And help the channels grow, guys. Brian, he don't give a hoot if you subscribe or not. He's like rocking, man. How many subscribers you got now, Brian?
Oh, 12,000 or something. I don't know. Something like that. Maybe something. I
know. Your views are rock solid, though. They keep going.
It just stays the same all the time. It never changes. It's always the same.
Yeah.
Even if I don't make any videos, it's the same. So
that's because you got so many videos in the library, right?
Right.
You got what, 300, maybe 5,000? No,
I got maybe like 1,200 or something like that.
That's a lot of videos. 1,200 videos. Do you ever archive them? You ever think about archiving your videos?
No.
Okay, I know there's some people have that strategy, and I'm not one. I'm just wondering if you were one.
I just leave them up there. People watch them. They watch them. They don't. They don't. I make the videos for me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
The videos for me,
So Ken, do you want to share a little? Do you want to do a teaser of your video? If you want to play it and share your display, I'll be glad to do shameless promotions for you. I think he froze, Brian.
Yes, I think he did because he hasn't moved. Maybe he's
hey Ken, if you can hear us.
Internet dropouts right now.
Yeah.
Hey Al, I was going to ask you because I know Marcus is going to buy a Evo Mini, or so. Are you planning on getting one of them too?
I think so. I think the Mini product line is definitely the future.
Yeah, there is no doubt about that in my book. There's no doubt.
Yeah, they're so small and so powerful. All they have to do is put a little bit bigger engines, and they won't get blown away. Because I think, remember the original Mini had weak engines, and the Mini SE has got the Mini 2 engines in it. So
right. The SE has the better motors.
They're the same as the Mini 2 motors. Right. So they went for the 1404 to 1505 motors or something like that, if I remember right. And those motors are freaking solid, man. I mean, solid.
I mean, I can't say enough about that Mini 2. I just can't. I mean, it's just so rock solid. The range, it's got the OcuSync 2, the range on that thing, the wind resistance. I mean, it just does everything. I mean, it just does it all.
Yeah, we lost Ken, so we'll see. I'm going to try to message him.
All he has to do is re-hit the link.
Yeah.
All he has to do is come back into the link.
Yeah, unless he's completely
I mean,
lost his.
maybe he had a power outage or something. Who
Yeah.
knows? I mean, he
Hope
is
you're
in
okay,
Florida.
man. Yeah, it happens in Florida. Yeah, there's no doubt. And I'm trying to message him now. All right,
But
so
yeah,
I know.
that mini is just solid, man. That mini is just solid as a rock. And even that Femi. Now, I did find out yesterday. You know, I told you I took the Femi mini up yesterday, right?
Right.
And that 40 degrees. Oh, I can tell. I can tell those Femi gimbals. They do not like cold weather.
There was jello everywhere.
Oh, it was Jello City. Okay. Now, the first few times I flew it, there was hardly any jello or any jitter. Now, this thing was just Jello City yesterday up in that 40 degrees, going about 20 miles an hour. Oh, it was Jello City. Oh, yeah. So I even said in the video, I said, well, I might be putting this away till spring. You know, I slowed down to about 7 miles an hour because I was watching it, you know. So when I slowed down to about 7 miles an hour, the jello stopped. But when I was going 20, oh yeah, it was Jello City. So, but
That's what I figured.
The Femi X8, the regular one, the big one, it didn't like it. The gimbal didn't like the cold. You know.
Hey, Brian, you called it. I just got a message back from Ken, and he said his power just went out at his house. Yeah. You could join with the phone.
All right. Is that what it is, Marcus? The Nano Plus? I don't know. I'm still waiting for my V-copter. I'm pissed off that hasn't got here yet.
Oh, my gosh. And I don't know if you saw the video that came out of, there's so many videos now, but we had the pleasure of watching Ken Heron fly his at his
right
at the beat up Cedar Park where we work. Let's see what's going on here. Drone Ops is saying it's raining really hard at his place right now, and like you said earlier about the Untitled Nano Plus is the one to really get because it's going to be a solid flyer too. I bet you.
Aren't they coming out with 2 of these little minis?
I think there's 3 different versions. Yeah, and. Marcus, if you could verify that, it'd be great. I'm going to add, hey, you're back. I'm sorry to hear about your troubles, man. That sucked. There you are.
So, yeah, my power's out.
Your power's out.
Yeah.
Well, actually, power's on, but for some reason I can't connect to the internet.
Well, that takes a while for the knack to build back up. You know, it'll come back.
I can't see chat, just so y'all know.
That's okay. I'll try to put it here. Now we were just talking about what was the name of that field that we flew at in the morning, Ken, at the park. You remember in Round Rock?
Settlers, wasn't it?
Settlers, yeah, I think it was. This is what you were talking about. You know how the fixed wing guys were there, and
yep.
And they were. Here's one of the fixed wings. This guy built this thing all on his own. You got to check this out. It's a vertical and takeoff and landing, and he throws a switch in the servos. So this fixed wing has 3 motors on it. You see it? And I remember when he plugged in and fired it up, Matty was flying his FPV. And when he fired up his VTX, and there's Kai, and who? Anyway, that's good enough there. And I can't tell who else was there. Oh yeah, here it goes. Look at this takeoff. It is his homemade vertical takeoff. Oh, come on, take off. All right, that's it. I'm going to stop sharing. There we go. I lost Ken again. Add him to the stream. There we are. Hey, you're back.
I'm here. I'm sorry about that. My power went out. It was flickering, going back and forth, back and forth. Then when I got on with my phone, it wasn't on speaker. So I couldn't hear you unless I did this. And I didn't get the inside of my ear. So I apologize, but I'm back now.
Oh man, I am telling you the challenges that we have to face sometimes just to make a live stream. Right?
Sorry about that.
No, on your end, I'm feeling bad for you. Don't feel bad for me, man. You're good. Yeah, so we're coming at the end of the show. So I know, Ken, you put in your shameless plug for your new 2 videos coming out. So don't forget, guys, stop by and hit subscribe button over, place it here, and I'll go ahead and add his banner, and here it is, guys. Don't forget to stop by. Yay! And of course, Brian's even happier when I put his up. Yay! So, Brian, you got any shameless promotions you want to share with us, or
no?
Okay, all right. I've been running into creator block. Have you run into those, Brian? I mean, you're just like, I really don't want to go review that stupid drone because I know it's toy. It's going to freaking hit the trees.
I've got so much crap to do. Sometimes you just go like, oh, I'm just not in the mood. I just want to just go fly the drones. I don't want to talk about them. I don't want to, I just want to go do the stuff for myself. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I always feel whenever I'm going out to fly a drone, I feel obligated to make a video.
I know.
What I mean? And sometimes I just don't feel like it. Like I never took the Anafi out this year and flew it. Not one time. Not once. I didn't fly the Anafi this year. I flew the Inspire a couple times. I flew the Phantom 4 a couple times. I never took the Anafi out. There was a bunch of drones this year I never took out. I just do the battery maintenance, but that's about it. So,
yeah. So you see Marcus' remarks there. He definitely agrees with you. The Mini 2 is perfectly happy with it, and I believe that's the only drone Marcus took.
It just hits all the cylinders. I mean, it will do everything. It'll do the 4K. It'll do the range. The stability. It handles nice, and it does everything.
It's almost stealthy. You know what I mean?
Plus, it's under the 250.
Yeah, it's stealthy in that way.
On top of all of that other great stuff that it does.
Yeah.
Then you don't even have to register the damn thing. So, I mean, it does everything.
Dennis Lovelady made this for me.
What is that, a chip for a bar?
Yeah. No, check it out.
No, I see it.
You open it up, and you carry your SD cards in it.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
See that?
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Dennis. Cool. It is super cool. Yeah, I had a pleasure. He actually hosted us one night in Atlanta, man. Thank you, Dennis, for doing that. Appreciate it. We had a wonderful time at his place, man. He cooked the steaks. We had wine. I mean, we blew it out, and then we had to get it back on the road the next day, like 5 a.m. And we caught up with you, Ken, like that evening.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
No. And then we drove into Round Rock from there. And that was good. So on my end, shameless promotion, I don't have anything. I think I'm going to start shifting quite a lot into, I haven't created Brock, so I think I need to just kind of, punch myself into doing something, and so I'm just going to start doing FPV comparisons because that's what I'm doing. I mean, this is how many batteries I fly. I don't have them in there. I mean, I usually carry 10 to 12 batteries and blow them out in 2 hours. So, hey, Johnny's in the house, and Scott's in the house. Yeah, there's Scott, Jackrabbit, FPV guys. Don't forget to subscribe to all these folks' channels here. Let's support our drone community by helping each other out. We'll carry each other across the finish line, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll be quiet. All right, so I think that's it, guys. We're going to wrap it up. We're running a couple of minutes over, and I wanted to be mindful of everybody's time. So I want to thank everybody for joining. I really do appreciate you guys, interactive with the drone community, the drone nerds here. Brian, thank you for helping me host this, and of course,
Super
Ken,
nerd.
super nerd. Yes, you are. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm jealous because you got e-bikes, man. I want some e-bikes and scooters too.
Nice, man. I'm telling you what, Al, you get one, you'll be like, oh crap, man, this is nice.
I know. And you know what? I had on my list, I had for Christmas, I had a 3D printer and a e-bike on there. And I don't think I'm going to get the bike. I think I'll probably get the printer.
You'd love it, believe me.
But I'll be perfectly happy with it because today, I mean, all my buddies are making all this stuff for me. They just give me a bag of goodies. And one of the nice things too. Remember, I was telling you that if you solder your come on, camera,
the wires.
And you wire your wires inside like this, and now we can. Let me see if I hit the Jackrabbit hide. Now you add these covers to the side. If I could just move the beeper out of the way, they mount like so, and all your wires are all covered up.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, camera. You see that?
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah, it's perfectly clear.
That's cool. And so now you don't have that the chance of breaking your wires off when you run into everything. I run into everything. I mean, that's why I put 6mm arms. That's why I bought a 6mm frame so it could just freaking bust through stuff and break through stuff instead of breaking a drone.
I'm telling you, if somebody came up with some modular FPV drones, they would make a fortune.
Well, DJI is trying to get into that space, and if what was the deal that diluted themselves or diversifying themselves? The FPV air unit is now all Caddx.
No, I don't know. Did that DJI FPV setup, which I thought was kind of expensive. I mean, did that thing sell good, or I don't know.
Yeah, it did, but it wasn't the established drone FPV community that bought it. I bought one. I bought it for the goggles and the controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a whole nother topic because the FPV drone for DJI, I don't think it's that good. I've never flown it, but just from what I see, in my own opinion, it seems to me that DJI did a lot of cool digital stuff, got a lot of FPV pilots that were on analog to go to digital, and no one cares about the FPV drone itself, but the digital goggles and the digital air unit and capabilities are amazing.
That's why I bought it, Brian. And I fly it more like a plane than... Because, see, here's the deal. That one, I can't smash into trees, and I can't drop it from the sky.
It's kind of like crash prohibitive.
No, yeah. I'm okay with being expensive, but it's got to be durable. But it's not. Okay? And, what I would love to be able to do, instead of having a fixed camera up front like so, right? Be able to take that FPV single axis camera and mount it on your drone. because every time I have to change the angle on my camera now, I have to physically change it. Where
Now, yeah.
Go ahead.
Now this DJI FPV thing, you can fly that thing just like as a regular drone, can't you? It doesn't
Yes.
have to be.
No,
You don't
but
have
you
to
know,
fly it like one of these kind like you have like one of these kind of FPV drones.
yeah, they're, freestyle racing FPV drones,
Yeah.
right?
Doesn't it have
Yeah.
like different settings, like for the super skilled, and then it has like an amateur setting?
Yeah, and they call it full acro mode, and that's
Yeah.
what we normally fly in is an acro mode. But they have a normal mode and a GPS mode. And look, you could be in full acro, Brian, and you could be dropping out of the sky like an idiot, and you're going to be landing in water, and you hit the left trigger finger on it, Brian. And I think it'd be upside down, and you hit that left trigger finger. It's just like you letting go of the sticks on your Mavic Mini, your Mini 2, and it just goes zoop, and locks it in place. And then you can literally hit that return home button on your controller, and it'll pick up and come back home, even after full acro mode. So it's like save my ass button.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I don't have it handy. It's going to take too long to get it, but I mounted a GoPro mount on top because the type of flying I'm flying more like a plane. But I'm telling you, the OcuSync 2 with the 4 antennas on that FPV DJI drone is amazing. My signal strength is just freaking phenomenal. I mean, I fly under 2 bridges and under a walking bridge like a mile away in confidence that nothing's going to, I'm confident that I'm not going to hit anything. It was just that good. Where, we get into what, if we were to show, Ken, you have your goggles handy there, your Fact Sharks? Where you have the Fact Sharks here. So he's got this directional antenna. He needs to point it at his quad. Okay.
Right. Okay.
And then he's got this. Is your omnidirectional antenna on top a right-handed polarized antenna or left-handed polarized? Do you know?
You're right.
You're right. Yeah. So, and then if you don't have those pointed at your bird, then it's going to crash. And then the other thing you have to worry about too is this, Brian. Look, my antennas are back here, okay?
Right.
And if I'm far away and I'm turning around and come back, it's usually standing on his nose, flying like this when I'm flying. Then sometimes these antennas here get blocked from my device.
Right.
It'll block it.
Well, that's just like a lot of those GPS birds. When you go out there 3,000-4,000 feet and you start turning to come back, you lose that signal for that little hair as it's making that turn because those antennas are in the legs. So as you're turning back, you're crossing your signal right there. So
and the Fimi X8 is classic of that.
I mean, the regular Mavic Air is classic for that.
Yeah, the
Air
old one.
too. I mean, the regular Mavic Air.
Yeah, because remember you had to flip those little antenna legs down.
Those antenna legs down. Yeah. And you go out about 3,000 feet with the regular Mavic Air, and as long as you're in that line and it's going forward, that's fine. As soon as you stop and start turning to come back, the signal just drops out, just like that.
Yeah, and
so Mikey, it'll come back, and then as it's coming back, you can keep moving the stick, but it'll drop out for sure. No doubt.
Yeah. I mean, once we get it, Mikey's talking about using TBS, Crossfire stuff, right? And that's what here's my Crossfire modules. When I buy these modules, I usually buy like 3 of them. So I got 3 receivers for my build, but these are for my aircraft. These are fixed wings. So that's what will go on my Tyrannus receiver. And I got the X9D. And yeah. freaking TBS Crossfire is amazing. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. For long range, yeah, rock. And we'll see what am I missing here in the chat? What are we missing here, Ken? All right. Scott's been talking here. Enjoy the HE views at Maddie's Drone World. Okay.
Now, I was trying to get Matty to give me all of his analog stuff now that he's going digital.
Oh, shoot. When did he
Matty had a really good experience yesterday with Ken Dono. He went out and did some spotting for him, and Ken was extremely nice and gave him, I forgot what kind of drone, so I'm sorry, Matty, but it was a digital drone, and gave him digital goggles as well.
Whoa. Yeah, well, Maddie, you better start giving that back to the community like Ken does. Yeah, you need to share the love, right, Ken?
He's excited, though. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, good for you, man. Hey, man, you owe me a phone call, Maddie. I'm calling them out right now.
There it is, 3-inch Apex with polar cam and the V2, the version 2 DJI goggles.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. So the 3-inch Apex with the polar cam, yeah, man, now, that is awesome. So you can definitely pull that out and put it on your, if you don't want to fly the 3-incher, you definitely put it on your 5-incher. Or just buy a freaking DJI unit. And
Maddie's already talking about having to transfer all of his stuff to air units so that he can fly all of his quads different.
I know. Yeah. Look, here's my builds coming up. there. So it's got the Polar Pro and the air unit comparison right there. So yeah, I mean, just do that. All right, we got to wrap it up. We're running to 15 minutes, man. We're having a great time, though, right, Brian? Yeah, absolutely. I know. Yeah, so now I think I'll be able to make my own parts. So I look forward to that, guys.
Well, maybe you won't get the printer. Maybe you'll get the bike.
Oh, maybe I will. And, man, I'm eyeballing that one at Costco, that little scooter the Costco sell. You know the one I'm talking about, that little Jetson?
I have.
You were talking about the Jetson, right?
I have the Jetson. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the Jetson.
Yeah, it's nice. I just got an extra battery for it. One of my YouTube buddies, he bought one and it cracked up on him, and so he took the battery out and sent me the battery.
Oh my gosh! Really?
Yeah.
What? Whoa, that's nice. So he knows you like it so much, he gave you the battery.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, he sent me the battery, so now I got a spare battery.
And they were only like $300.
Yeah, I paid $299 for mine. Now they're $349.
Yeah, they were like $300 at Costco, but I think it came with some extra stuff with the Costco deal. I don't know what it was.
It was okay. Yeah, it was all right. I got the Costco when they shipped it to the house. Shipping was free and all that crap. So, yeah, it was $299.
And that was about a year ago.
Now at Costco, it's $349, and they're selling them at Target now too. Yeah, Target has them too.
So there you go. There you go, guys. If you got an extra $350, get yourself the Jetson.
Yeah, it goes like 13, 14 mile range.
That is so little.
That's without pedaling. That's just using the throttle.
That's crazy.
So if you pedal, you can get 20 out of it, no problem, if you help it. I don't like to pedal. I don't like to pedal, so I prefer the non-pedaling option.
Yeah. So, hey Scott, I've been building the 4 inches where I'm headed because I really enjoyed the 3.5-inch Emax Baby Hawk 2 HD, and that's the one that's all apart here. But I just like the form factor. It's almost like the Mini 2, Brian, where it's really stealthy and quiet. And it's operational really fast. You can fly it in places. People are not intimidated like when you break out a 5-inch drone, it's an angry bird, man. When you whomp on that thing, it's angry. It's
Yeah,
like,
those things are
"Whoa,"
big.
it just
Yeah.
screams, I'm gonna hurt you, scream, And the 3.5-inch one, it's just, not kind of subdued. You can whomp on it, it'll scream, it'll hiss at you, but it won't scream at you. All right, guys, thanks again for hanging out with us. Brian, that was awesome. Ken, thanks again, guys. I think we got to shut it down. We're 16 minutes overdue. Once again, guys, don't forget to hit that like button and join the channels. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.